One. And we're live. And welcome to another episode of Violent Wrestling Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ambrose Alley, and with me is my cohort in crime,
Mox. The crowd goes mild.
You mean the crowd goes wild? Yay! Yay! Come on, the crowd goes wild.
I don't hear anybody.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here. Barely, but I'm here.
Well, that's
I've
what
had an interesting few days, but when we say we'll be on around 10 Eastern, 8 Mountain ish every Wednesday, here we are. So we're here. We're gonna talk some wrestling and whatever else we decide to talk about.
And that little friend you had that visited your house since Sunday.
I caught that bastard last night, and not to spoil or anything from SmackDown, but I bludgeoned him. He finally. Just a real quick. I don't even like saying the word. I have like a death phobia of, and I get it from my mom, of snakes. And a snake got into my house Sunday late evening, and tried catching him, couldn't get him out. He ended up hiding somewhere in my stove, and so he's been there since Sunday night. And last night, finally, so I've been just like camped out, shaking, sweating, panicking. And last night he finally showed himself, caught him, and took him outside. And now he's the best kind of snake. He's a dead snake. So that's what I've been doing the last 3 days.
Okay, so on to Raw.
Yes.
And it opened. We had Corbin and Angle in the ring. And
I'm kind of they started doing this, I think, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, where it's like they're no longer doing Corbin interrupting Angle. It's literally Corbin is attached at the hip to Angle. Like Angle's music hits, Angle comes out, and right behind Angle is Corbin. Like he doesn't like let Angle, get down the ring and do a spill, and then Corbin comes out and interrupts. Like it's literally like they're together. Like he's for real Stephanie's constable, watch over of just one of those little things that I find kind of amusing. Of like, don't let him out of your sight. You better, like, he's keep an eye on him very literally.
okay, and Reigns comes out, interrupts them, and so there's a match put together, which was actually a pretty decent match, from what I remember.
Yeah, it was. And again, forgive me, guys. I've had like no sleep. I slept a little bit, like about 4 o'clock this morning. Um, well, Reigns, when he interrupts, about what happened last week with Brock, and like, please don't suspend Brock. Please don't take my match away at SummerSlam. And Kurt's like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Like your match is still on. And then some kind of interaction happened with Corbin and Roman. And like, you want to fight? Let's fight. And Kurt's like, hey, yeah, by the way, you guys are going to have a match, and it starts right now. And that was like the first 30 minutes of Raw was Corbin and Reigns. And it was, again, I'm looking up and down, I'm hearing all of it. But from what like, it was people forget that a the tractors just don't give a shit about Reigns. Like the Reigns can never have a good match. But people forget Corbin can actually put on a good match.
Well, they had a good match. It wasn't. It was pretty enjoyable.
And I say that as a big Baron Corbin fan. But he not all the time is he crisp in the ring, but I liked how they played up a little bit on commentary. It got shut down real quick, but I think it was Coach. No, this is the thing, guys. Corbin's a big guy. Brock Lesnar's a big guy. And I think Corey Graves like shut him down, like, don't you dare compare the two, or however he. But Coach had a point, like, Corbin's a big guy. Anyway, I'm probably not making any sense.
No, you're
But
making.
the match goes to finally, like, Corbin's getting his ass whooped and has had enough, and he's walking up the ramp like, nope, I'm out. Like, I'll live to fight another day. And who of all people's music hits?
That of the one, the only, Finn Balor.
The extraordinary man that does extraordinary things. Damn it, Michael Cole. I can't believe we went through the first 5 minutes of this without saying the big dog. Damn it, Michael Cole. So as Baron's trying to get up the ramp, all of a sudden he has Reigns on in the ring still, and Baron or Finn walking towards the ring, so he's stuck in a
Between a
abs
rock
and
and
a.
a hard place.
Well, I was trying to make a joke like abs and a hard place, like, because Finn with those abs.
Yes, he does have.
I'm a straight man, like, don't get me wrong, but my goodness, Finn's a good looking man.
Yes, he is, and those abs.
Like, growing up, and people would say, what do they call the scrub abs? Shoot, the scrub board abs,
Washboard.
washboard abs. What the hell does that mean? As a kid, like, what does that even mean? Okay, grown ass man. Now I see what washboard abs mean. Like, holy crap, you can do your laundry on. Whoa, that didn't come out right. Anyway, so Baron ends up running back to the ring, like, trying to escape Finn, and gets speared by Roman, and Roman pins Baron, and this, I'm not big on criticizing a lot of things, but the camera cut off because Roman gave, because at the end I was like looking up, Roman gave either a too sweet or a gun signal to Balor, or vice versa, however that worked, and the camera panned or cut to another camera angle where they were trying to, whatever they were doing the Bullet Club gun thing, or the Bullet Club too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
They did it while while Finn was on the ramp and Roman was in the ring, but it didn't show it because one had just raised their hand, and I can't tell if they gave it too sweet or the bullet or the gun, the finger gun thing. And then they did it again later when they were next to each other when Roman's leaving. I think they too sweeted.
I thought they did the fist bump as Roman was leaving.
Yeah, that's right. They did the fist bump, but there was something there that the camera down cut, like right in that moment, instead of going to the big cam or something, to see both of them do a gesture of "I got you, you got me, we're cool." Like it started and then it cut to Roman nodding. I think it was Roman nodding or Finn nodding, however it worked. Anyway, I'm rambling. And so Roman jumps out of the ring, walks up the ramp, fist bumps Finn. Roman keeps walking up the ramp. You think, okay, Finn got his revenge. Nope, Finn's not done yet. Finn goes to the ring and does a Baron's getting up. He does his drop kick to the corner and does a coup de grace to Baron, and that's how the wraps up the opening match, and we end with Balor's music playing till we go to the next segment.
Yep. While we're on the subject of Roman, I'm going to be jumping around a little bit here in Raw.
Oh yeah, guys, like we have, forgive us tonight. If nothing else, forgive me. Like I'm gonna be all over the place. So just bear with us, enjoy the show, have fun. That's what this is all about. Whatever we talk about, just have fun with us. And
yeah, but I'm jumping because I got to talk about Breeze, Tyler Breeze, and Seth Rollins.
CrossFit Breezes.
This
CrossFit Breezes.
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk about this. I just had to get to it.
That was so great.
I loved it. That was awesome.
I'm glad with Fandango being out that Tyler Breeze is still, like, it might not be much, but he's still there. Like, don't forget about Breezy. And that was perfect. And the whole thing, like the backstage segment with him and Seth, like everything. Tyler's so good.
He is. Yeah. And didn't he and Roman hold long time ago or was it he and Seth that held tag team belts? Back in the early days.
Yeah, I think it was FCW. I want to say back in FCW, just off the top of my head, with no sleep in almost 4 days. I want to say it was Tyler and Seth, Tyler Breeze and Seth, but it might have been him and Leaky, and I'm not
Lakey.
My brain's a little leaky at the moment. Okay,
so okay,
Lakey. It might have, but yes, he is a former FCW tag champ with one of them. I just can't remember off the top of my head which one.
But yes, that was such a great moment. That was such a great moment.
And Tyler Breeze has, and not to take away, like, you can only say so much about Seth that people don't already know. Like it's Seth freaking Rollins. It's, Tyler Black back in the, like, it's Seth Rollins. Like, how much more can I say about? But Tyler Black, even FCW, NXT, he's very, not just his in-ring ability, but his promos, his comedic chops. And I thought that was freaking hilarious because he kind of makes a dig on Seth about being CrossFit, being CrossFit Jesus. I'm not into all that or anything, but you know, if they like a CrossFit Jesus, that's you. I said, but I tell you what, how about this name? What about CrossFit Breezes? And he
Yes.
puts the shield fist out, and Seth looks down like, what the is this guy doing? And there for a second, I thought like, oh shit, it would work. Like Seth has at least somebody. And then the camera kind of goes out a little bit, and Roman like shows up. Dude, seriously?
That was
And I
good.
call, yeah, that was they're all three of those and many more, but Seth, any of the Shield brothers are so good with those kind of segments, especially like when they're trying to find a partner, like when after they reunited and Dean went out and or Seth or they're always so good at that where people want to be a part of the Shield so bad, and they're always so good at playing that backstage segment of, well, I'll think about it till another one of the brethren show up and like, dude, seriously? Like, I got you.
Yeah, it was great. And I still liked at the end when, well, remember when Corbin kept Roman from going out to be Seth's partner? And Roman asked him how his ribs was. And when he said it was
Yeah,
okay, Roman had to
punch him. Uh,
punch him in the ribs.
I mean, just straight right hook to the ribs. And I actually, with everything going on, I still laugh because you hear, oh, I think he's going to need a trainer. And you can hear Roman walking away, and two times, trainer? Is there a trainer? As like he's way off mic, but you can still hear him like walking down the. I thought that shit was hilarious. Trainer, is there a trainer? Trainer, like and I liked it better that he didn't say like medic or something that would have sounded like so over scripted. The fact, trainer, it would have been kind of still would have been funny as shit if he would have said, medic, can we get a medic? But, trainer, is there a trainer around?
Poor Corbin.
That, I know, but hey, at least Corbin isn't doing like at least he's in a predominant role.
He's got a character.
Yeah, and he needed one. Like he's always kind of had that very fine line character of, well, we know of him, pretty good in the ring. Oh, he's a he can throw fist, and he's a motorcyclist, and but once they went with this shaving the head and Constable Corbin stuff, like, okay, and he fits it so well. He's such a dick. Like you just want to punch him in the ribs when his ribs are already hurt. You just it works for me.
Yeah.
Now I have no idea where we were versus where we are here and what we missed in the middle.
Well, we're still going along. What about Paul Heyman's promo?
And I had to watch this later on YouTube. I heard it, but to actually see dude, that's one of, and I don't mean to call you dude. I'm talking to the audience when I say that stuff. One of his best promos, maybe ever, damn sure in the last 10 plus years. Like, if you weren't sold on Roman versus Brock at SummerSlam, that promo alone, and if you're still not sold from that interview, I don't know what you're looking for in wrestling, honestly.
I only heard half of this promo. Because lately I've been tuning out a lot of what Paul Heyman says because it's been the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's what.
But what I've
Ladies
heard,
and
I was
gentlemen,
impressed with.
yeah, it's all for the past what 4 years since SummerSlam 14 or what Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Paul Heyman, and I'm the advocate for that he kind of switched it after WrestleMania 30 when Lesnar beat the Streak, but it's the same damn thing every week. Heyman's a lot better than that, like a lot better, but it's been so repetitive, and to see him out of the victimized, traumatized kind of same shit we see every time we see Paul Heyman. Oh, Paul Heyman is so good. And you add in, and Renee's such a good interviewer. Like, Renee played her part perfectly as well.
Yes, she did.
And you get where Renee's kind of feeling like, okay, I don't want to take it too far. I will ease up, and you get Paul's rebuttal of, just do your job. I know you're here to. He didn't. He did say, just do your job. He didn't say, I know you're just doing your job, so I'm here. But he did say, just do your job, which means ask me the hard questions.
Mm-hmm. That's the fact, Jack.
Are we gonna do? What do you think happens there at SummerSlam? Given that interview, are you swayed anywhere you weren't before that interview, or
No, not swayed. Um, I'm still gonna watch it. I was already planning on watching it.
I mean the outcome of that one match?
Nope, I'm still in Roman's corner.
Roman's winning still, right?
Yep. Call
And
me a glutton for punishment.
next week we'll do our next Wednesday. We'll do our prediction and stuff. But I will. Speaking of Heyman promos, this is not a prediction. This is a spoiler. Do not have Roman pin Brock, and then whoever has the case at that time, whether Kevin Owens beats Braun earlier in the night for the case, do not do a Sheamus 515 again and have a cash in right away. Don't, whatever you do not do that shit for anything.
Hey, what did you think about Ronda's first match on Raw?
Uh, it was okay. I'm about 50-50 on Ronda. I like her. She still has some things to work on. I saw several spots where I thought she where there could be potential of like hurting somebody, and maybe that was just me like looking up and down, like, oh, this is happening. Oh, and looking back, like, but you have to, it was Ronda versus Alicia Fox, and I like Alicia Fox and everything, but Alicia Fox is not the crispest in ring worker. It served its purpose, I guess. I
Well,
guess it. What were your thoughts?
I think Fox was a good one to start with for Ronda.
It, Alicia Fox is a name. Like, it might not be the biggest name. It's it's not that's like it served its purpose. Like, Mickey James is out injured, so you put Alicia with Alexa. You're not going to have a Ronda versus Natalia match because they're best friends. Thank you again, Michael Cole. The Sasha and Bailey are out of the equation altogether. The Riot Squad are in a feud with Sasha and Bailey, so they're out. I don't know where Nia Jax is, but we've already seen that anyway.
I think Nia's out injured. I could be wrong.
There's rumors going around. I don't. Last I saw, again, I've missed the last few days of keeping up like I normally do, but there was an injury report, then maybe not injury, and she's in catering because well, now what kind of. But given the, like, it could have been worse, I guess, if it would have been Dana Brooke. But Dana Brooke is playing a face now with Titus Worldwide.
Titus World Slide.
World Slide. It was a serviceable match. Like, it did its purpose. It got Ronda's a badass. Alexa's a scaredy cat heel. And they'll try anything to win. Some of those arm drags kind of looked rough. I don't like the armbar finish where she bent her arm the wrong way for the actual armbar, where it's supposed to be straight, like she bent it in. And I don't know if that's leading up to, with Alexa being double jointed, if that's leading to, like, we see that visual of the arm bending a way it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
It was okay. Like, again, it served its purpose. I don't like they spent more time talking before the match, Alicia and Alexa, than the actual match itself. Like, that was unnecessary.
And what about the Kevin Owens show?
That there's something there, and I know they'll never go with this. There's something there that I like about Kevin Owens and Jinder being in a, not necessarily a tag team, but in some kind of shape, fashion, or form. Like, Shantae. Like, no, dude, I'm pissed. Shantae. And it's something, because when Kevin Owens music hits, I always look at the TV. Like, I just have to. And once I realized, like, the stage was on the side, like, that's different.
Yeah, they kind of gave away. You knew what Braun was going to do.
Yeah, would not necessarily flipping but you knew either flipping or somebody's going through that stage, or it was such a weird, like, they don't do this every week, so you knew some, just like a while back with the porta potty thing. Once you saw that porta potty, oh shit, Ron's putting Kevin Owens in a porta potty. At least I like, once you saw that, like, okay, that's where this is going. Kevin is going in a porta potty this week. What do you think about the whole? And again, this is all over the place, and which works for me. What do you think about the Raw card as it stands now going into SummerSlam?
Well,
There's a lot. Is it just me, or is there a lot of rematches?
there's a lot of rematches. It's matches we've seen, and when we get to SmackDown, I'll probably say the same thing. But there's really nothing fresh going into SummerSlam on the Raw side. I'll just put my inside of my lip.
Uh-oh. Don't be
Um,
doing that. Well, I think the outside of your lip now wants a rematch with the inside of your lip.
yeah.
I don't even know how that would work. But it, like, I can't think of just off the top of my head on the Raw side what's a match that's not a rematch of some kind, either pay-per-view or something we had just seen this week or last week on Raw.
No,
What gets me, go ahead.
it's the only match that will probably be interesting or fun. I got a feeling it's going to be Strowman and Owens.
Well, I see fun in the matches. There's the Kevin Owens, Braun Strowman. It's Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman. That's going to be fun.
And we're going to
The
get a good match out of Seth and Ziggler again.
But that's going to be a good match because it's Seth and Ziggler, and
But
for
we've
all the
had
shit.
it before.
But and they just isn't like the 30-minute Iron Man match they had last pay-per-view. Like, isn't that normally the end of that feud? Like, shouldn't it be?
It should.
Like that's how builds work. Is okay. I don't like you, or I want this championship. Let's have a match. Oh well, this happened, so we'll do this kind of match. Oh well, shit, this happened again, or let's have a 30-minute Iron Man match, winner take all. You win, I get the belt, we're done. I win, I keep the belt, we're done. Like, that's the head of the feud right there. But nope, just like with the Braun and Kevin thing, they had a damn cage match, and the feud's not over. Just some things I still have fun watching. Don't get me wrong. I just bicker a lot sometimes, or I thought that we'd be moved beyond some of these things. So who? Because you know what's going to happen. Who is showing up to save, or if you want to be cynical, cost Seth Rollins the IC championship? And I'll give you one of two options: Jason Jordan or Dean Ambrose.
Probably Jordan.
Yeah. And he'll end up costing Seth. Like he's going to come down and try to help, but actually hurt his chances. Is that what you're getting at?
Yep. It's going to be Jordan. Jordan's going to come back. Dean, I don't think it's going to be back at SummerSlam.
He could be, I guess. Again, and wrestling news, shit changes literally day to day. Last I remember, he could possibly be, I think it's later in the month of August. But I kind of want to separate Dean's return from, excuse me, this whole Seth Dolph feud over the IC title. I would not have Dean be the one to. I definitely would not be the one that had Dean come and cost Seth the chance. And I don't even want Dean to be the one that comes and helps Seth, if that makes sense.
It makes sense.
It's not the right time.
No, I think they're going to hold off and keep Dean to return on the Raw now that it's so close for Dean to return, to get people to tune into Raw, waiting for Dean to come back.
Oh, you're talking about the night after SummerSlam?
Maybe after that, maybe a couple of weeks after SummerSlam, but they're going to try to keep the ratings up because they're coming up on football season.
And I kind of follow your thinking a little, or about halfway. Returns are anymore. Every once in a while, obviously, they're done during a network show that we used to call pay-per-views, and they are still called pay-per-views, and it used to be such a big deal, and I guess it still is. But now, like, just to your point about the ratings, if Dane doesn't show up at SummerSlam, but he shows up on Monday Night Raw the next night, and people are, I'm not watching Monday Night Raw, and then later Monday or Tuesday or later in the week, like, oh shit, I missed Monday Night Raw, Dean showed back up. Oh, let me tune in this Monday, the following Monday. What's going on with this? And what's going on with Dean, and where's he going?
I just hope they don't screw up his return.
And I fear that. I fear it so bad. I honestly fear that they have the balls to screw up Dean Ambrose's return. Didn't have the balls enough to, when Seth came back, and yes, he left as a heel, but during his rehab and stuff, not with the casual fans, but the internet smarky fans, smarts, whatever you want to call them, the people, because he'd already been, NXT, and calling out Triple H, and he won. I don't. He left as a heel, could have easily come back as a face, just based on the different segments of, holy shit, the casuals, that's Seth Rollins music, he's back. Yeah. And the people like us that keep up with, not just what we see on TV, like, oh, he's coming back for Triple H. perfect time to be a face, but at the same time, I see why they didn't. This is such a wrong time to, because everybody wants. Dean needs to come back and turn heel. Dean needs to come back and turn heel. Dean's a good heel. Don't get me wrong. John Moxley's a bad motherfucker. Don't come back that way. Let that story play out a little while.
Let him come back as he left.
Yeah. There's a reason why I go by Mox. He's a great heel. Good to great heel. Let him get the, because there's so much, don't ruin that story right before it even starts. Let him come back as a face. He left as a face, one of the most over baby faces. Let him come back, and then later down the churning of the wheel. Okay, well now we're going to turn Dean heel. I'm all for that. Just don't have him interrupt a match and some of the fantasy booking shit you see. Oh, it's like, so you want Dean to come out at SummerSlam and hit Seth in the back with a chair and cost Seth. Where do you go from there? Like, okay, now you're limited to just Seth versus Dean, or maybe throw in some Roman later. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, that's a month or 2, 3 months worth of story. Have him come back as a face. Work that whole story out. Since every time they try to reunite the Shield, or they're all healthy, somebody gets hurt. Like, run that story. And then you go with some kind of swerve return. Just me.
Okay, what about Bobby Roode defeating Mojo Rawley?
Oh my goodness. Speaking of, why the hell is Bobby Roode a face? Why? This is, and I'm sorry, things and stuff. And I really love, Mojo's better as a heel, and she will say that as much. Like, he's so good, or so much better, at least. But why is it? I think when I found out the match was coming on after the commercial, like, well, I can, if it wasn't for a certain other thing, well, I can take a nap now. And that's more on face Bobby Roode than anything Mojo has to do with it.
I don't even remember the match.
Mojo won. Oh, Bobby won because I remember hearing Glorious at the end. But that, you're trying to turn Mojo, I'm not high, I stay hot, into a hill, and that's working. And you put him up like the most boringest hill or face. And my problem lies with the face Bobby Roode. Like, he's so, people say he's a, or so and so's a, I turn the channel or I'm mute. Like, legit, since Bobby Roode's been called up as a face, he does absolutely nothing for me. I give zero shits about what he's doing.
And then we always have, ladies and gentlemen, Elias.
Now we're getting somewhere. He's about to surpass The Miz as an A-lister.
He's entertaining as hell.
Yes, he is.
I just wish they'd have him feuding with someone else besides Bobby Lashley.
And the flip side of the coin of um, Bobby Roode is Bobby Lashley. Like what the? I mean, they're both okay to good to decent in the ring. They're both so damn boring. Elias is great, and Morse. I heard it. I've already given the setting, and Morse gets into it just like everybody in the audience does, week after week of his doing, his strumming, and everybody's cheering. And even Morse said when he started bad mouthing, they were in Tampa this week, somewhere in Florida, Tampa, Orlando, whatever, wherever they were. And he said something bad about the town, and I heard Morris say, well, "Why is he always got to turn bad in the middle of the song?" Or something. I'm paraphrasing. Where Morris is like, "Yeah, I like Elias. Yeah, why is he always got to be so mean?" But he does it. He does it perfectly. Like because everybody in the crowd, walk with Elias. And then 2 seconds later, we'll get you to turn around and boo the shit out of him. He's so good. He plays the crowd. It's been a while since I've seen somebody play the crowd the way Elias plays the crowd. You want to walk with Elias until he's in your hometown and he's shitting on your hometown, and then you want his ass to get beat up. Hopefully by anybody else besides Bobby Lashley.
Do you remember even how this feud started between Bob and Elias?
Wasn't it Bobby Lashley's debut? And Elias was playing, and Bobby Lashley, his music interrupted or something. This was right, I think, around the time they started doing the ladies and gentlemen. I think Elias Sampson was still going by Elias Sampson. Maybe I'm have my timeline completely wrong. But I think Bobby Lashley's debut or re-debut happened during one of Elias's. If I've heard right, Elias even brought it up Monday. But how now we're back here.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's one of those, and it happens far too often, and that's to be expected, not just in WWE, but randomly feuding. I know the last few weeks, like everybody was interrupting Elias when his album came out. Like every time he would start, somebody's music would hit. But I love Elias. I like Lashley. I don't know what they're doing with him on this return debut. I was expecting more.
Yes, like Drew McIntyre. Like when Drew McIntyre came back, he had a set character, and he's really killing it.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre back then left, went to the Indies. Drew Galloway honed his craft, did outstanding work, came back as Drew McIntyre, kept what he had, the years in between, and is badass. Bobby Lashley was badass. left, went to TNA, became even more badass in TNA, MMA, came back, still badass. So I have to assume it's the writing for Bobby Lashley that's the problem on this. It has to be. Bobby Lashley is a badass.
But he doesn't have a character. He
Yeah, that's a he does without rehashing the character he had in TNA, where he was basically a different kind of Brock Lesnar, like just a badass, kick ass, take names, get my paycheck and go. And they need a little bit more of that in WWE, I guess, but they've just it's become a puddle of like he's not even a really a badass now. Like he was more of a badass the first time he was in WWE. Like they legit just, hey, you want to sign this contract? Sure, I'll sign it. Oh shit! What are we gonna do with Bobby Lashley? Reminds me to a far lesser degree of Uhaa Nation, who is known as Apollo Crews. Like you don't just smile. Like smiling might be, the L's favorite. Smiling's my favorite. And if you don't get that movie reference, I don't care.
hmm.
Will Ferrell, Elf, Elf, Santa. But smiling isn't a character.
No. How about Razor of Authors of Pain defeating Titus O'Neil of Titus Worldwide?
World Speed. Um, damn it! And I had such high hopes for Authors of Pain getting called up. When they did get called up, I see where they're going, but I really wish. I mean, look at Ackerman Razor. You're talking about two badass, excuse me for a second, motherfuckers. You do not fuck with these two. Like, you don't do it. And we're getting this out of them. Not out of them, but this is what they're portraying them. And I love Titus World Speed, but that should be a 30-second match. That's where the problem is, or somewhat of the problem of wanting to make everybody look good. Everybody's a superstar. Like that. If you put Razor versus Titus O'Neil, and you're trying to get, ignite the fire for this tag team, this dominant, huge ass tag team, bad MFers, it should be like a punch, maybe a punch back, and a maneuver, and 1, 2, 3, and Author Pain's music hits. That's why I'm like back in the day when with the squashes, with the jobber talent, the local talent, which they still
Right.
do here and there. Like again, this goes back to the Alicia Fox Ronda Rousey match. That should not have been what it was. It should have been whether it's Alicia Fox, from bell to bell, 30 seconds getting her ass whooped and pinned, or a local talent. But that they lost that. They tried it with like Nia. They did it with Braun. hello, James Ellsworth. Like it doesn't last forever, but it should at least establish, like, I'm badass. There should be a level, like a step system of, if you want to be a, and in my opinion, AOP is that kind of, fits in that box. So these dudes are badass. They kick ass until somebody steps up to them outside of, like, Titus Worldwide, World Sling. Like, let them run through for a few weeks, and then have somebody. Oh, you've been here a month. Who do you think you are? And then have them run them over too. Maybe not necessarily in a squash, but in a little bit of a longer losing battle. Who's a good top face tag team on Raw that's not on the leaders of the world? Or,
B team.
well, they're the current champions. I would. But something like that, somebody that's established as a, but not like the Revival because they're both hills. Some, where they're, they keep working their way up the mountain of, we basically killed all these people. Who's next? That kind of, it works. I just, at least for me. I'm trying to think what else happened in Raw.
The handicap for Seth Rollins. That handicap match.
It was a good match. I mean, and I forget where I saw some. That might be something I'll save for another podcast, but maybe next week or something. Drew McIntyre, like I was saying earlier, dude is legit. Yeah, he had flaws earlier in his WWE career. Went around the world, Drew Galloway came back. Drew McIntyre, and his return NXT run was fun. His debut on the main roster, as much as I do not like Dolph, they've made a point to, it's not about Dolph, it's about Drew effing McIntyre. Drew's the badass. They've almost come out and said, Dolph is lucky to have Drew, kind of thing. It's not like Drew is a lackey at all.
And everyone's waiting for Drew to turn on Dolph.
No, please God, no. Drew needs to stay heel. Please do not turn Drew Galloway, Drew McIntyre face. Not right now. Not right now. You have, and I'm trying to think, after SummerSlam, who do you have as on Raw? Good to great heels. Did I say Raw? I meant SummerSlam. Who? Drew just steps up right away. Like, here's your next badass. Could you imagine Roman versus Drew for the Universal Championship? That would be killer. Even if you want to keep him tied to Dolph for another few months or whatever, do not turn this current Drew McIntyre face. Don't do it. He's just now getting his footing Like he's the Scottish badass. And it's just his presence, his entrance. Oh shit!
And how about the other women's match? The Boston Hug Connection versus the Riot Squad.
I'm glad that Ruby's back. Ruby came out of the crowd and in a hoodie and everything and saved the other two members of the Riot Squad. I'm glad she's back and that injury wasn't worse than apparently was speculated there for a little while. What are we thinking together that this is leading to tag team women's championship? Aren't they kind of making it without saying as much? Aren't they kind of making it obvious?
I think they're making it obvious. I think there might be a women's tag.
Yeah. We get that at Evolution, or
I don't know. I think they're going to be testing the waters between now and Evolution.
Hey, can I copy the YouTube link real quick and put it in the nightly?
Sure.
Yeah, and I can. It makes sense. Like you don't want to announce it now because now you're worried about SummerSlam. Like let's do all that first, and then we'll get to after SummerSlam, then make the announcement of this is where we're actually headed. That kind of. You don't make that announcement right before the biggest party of the summer. Sorry, I had to. You know what I mean? Like you don't like 2 weeks before SummerSlam. Say, oh, by the way, in October we're gonna introduce. I think the Monday after SummerSlam, it'll probably be Stephanie. And we're gonna have women's tag team champions, and whether they just pick 2 or 3 or they have some kind of tournament or something, I don't know, but it has to come out after SummerSlam. Did you really title this It Was a Show? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Nice. Are you a WWE writer? And that's my fault for everything that was going on.
I could have titled it Was a Show, bro.
Oh, nice. Bro. How familiar are you with, speaking of bro, I know you're doing a Vince Russo thing, but how familiar are you with Matt Riddle?
Not that familiar. Why you ask?
Well, apparently he's signed with WWE. He's a big indie star, a former, and before I say MMA, like he's not like Brock Lesnar big. Like I forget what weight class off the top of my head, but another one of the big signings. Sorry, just wanted to know if you.
Oh, I said I've heard of him, but I've never really seen any of his matches.
He's does a lot of progress and Oh Lord, he's been basically everywhere. He wrestles barefoot, and uh, it's hard to describe, bro. Like literally, he's hard to. There's not much I can, and I've just sidetracked the whole. I was just wondering if I kind of like a few years ago, season 2 or so, wanted him to show up in Lucha, Lucha Underground, and that didn't happen. And I might have to go on mute for just a second, but if you where we were before the Matt Riddle thing.
We were going to SmackDown Live.
Okay, I'll let you do the start on that, and I'm going to go on mute for 1 second.
Okay, we're at SmackDown Live, and of course, the feud that's been building between The Miz and Daniel Bryan, which is not as heated up as it was when they did Talking Smack. I mean, they really need to do another segment like that to really get it back on track, I feel.
And see, I hadn't heard. I just read, and it's hard to like convey things, through text versus in person. And yeah, again, you can't really capitalize on something that's not there. When Daniel couldn't compete. And to a degree, I do see it, and I think they're trying to. It hasn't lost its steam by any means. It still has legs. But there was a time, what was it? End of 2016. Like you just wanted to see Daniel Bryan whoop the Miz's ass. Like that's all you wanted to see.
And that's all that a lot of people still want to see.
Right. Like that's it. That's what I'm saying. Like it still has some legs. The fire isn't like to the sky like it was, but that fire is still pretty bright. And especially since then, now Miz has a kid too, and I could see this. I could see them stretching this out all the way to 35, if not longer. Let them, SummerSlam and give us a taste. But have it in like a not so satisfactory way. And then have the big, like, I hate you, I hate your family, my daughter's better than your daughter, my wife's better than your wife, but please, no, please, dear Lord, no, Miz and Maurice versus Brian and Bree, please, like, just leave it to Brian and Miz. Like a little B pay-per-view if they want to do an mixed tag. Okay, that's fine. But the head of the feud needs to be just Miz and Brian.
Yeah. Do we want to go to the pink elephant in the room?
Oh, what's that?
Charlotte and Becky.
Hey, they're not Sasha and Bailey. They said as much.
I said Charlotte and Becky.
I know, and they said on SmackDown that. I don't know who said it to who. Hey, are we cool? Yeah, we're cool. We're not Sasha and Bailey. I forget how all that came. Yeah, that's. I don't get the why Charlotte interjected into this match to begin with. Beyond she's Charlotte.
Well, it's like I feel with Alexa. Don't get me wrong, I like Alexa. But Alexa needs to be away from the title for a while. As does Charlotte.
Oh. Yeah, that. If nothing else, and I know this is an underlying problem of them being able to do secondary feuds, especially for the women, like they do with because there's no secondary title for the women. I kind of get where the writing would. Hey, Charlotte's back. She gets a. She gets
a title shot.
Yeah, but then have a secondary. Like have her. She's back. She cuts a promo. Whatever. Have Asuka. Have somebody come out. Like no, you. Wait a minute. You go through me first or something like that, even though that kind of doesn't make sense since Asuka lost to Charlotte but have some kind of way of like prolonging a three-way at SummerSlam. Like have somebody interrupt Charlotte. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Charlotte needs to work her way back up.
Yes, and just anybody. Naomi coming out. Hey, I'm back, so I'm. She beat Carmella. Like that shouldn't have happened at all. Should have been a promo like I'm back and I'm Queen Bee. And I'm coming for that title. Anybody could have interrupted her and said, "No, you're right, you're back, but let's climb back up that ladder and it starts with me at SummerSlam. You beat me at SummerSlam, then you can go on." But it shouldn't have been. Anything other than just I'm back. Oh, welcome back. Here's a triple threat title match. Which are going back to Raw irks me about Ronda and being in a title match. A, you were suspended. B, you did not heed to your suspension. Or heed to your suspension. You got another week of suspension. Your reward, here's a title shot. SummerSlam. Book it. What the? It's just bad storytelling.
Well, what about their match with the Iconics?
You're going to make me pick and choose. I haven't seen the match, obviously. The Iconics lost. I don't.
Okay, then we won't talk about the match with the Iconics.
No, I just haven't seen the match. I think how do you go so far from literally the Iconics costing Charlotte the women's championship belt to what the hell are you doing with the Iconics? Like they came in like a tornado, like just such dominant force, and now they're like in that just like a tornado in that quick of a turn, they're relegated
Harpy.
to it. Hey. Only one of them is really a heartbeat. I like Peyton Royce, I really do. I like both of them. Peyton Royce is just so much better than Billy Kay.
Don't hate me, Metal Matt.
I know that's probably too much Burger King to have room to hate anybody. Jackass.
What about this feud build up between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe?
That and this is what we brought up earlier. I brought up and we talked about like it's not rematch after rematch after rematch like on Raw. This is a fresh Samoa Joe versus AJ Lee. Or AJ Lee. Son of a bitch. Sorry. Nope. I do not like AJ Lee at all. Nope. We have Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles. It's happened before. It's happened in more than one promotion before. This is the first time they've ever faced each other in a WWE ring. I like it. It's fresh. It's not, we just saw this last pay-per-view. Or we just saw this, this past Monday. I like it. I'll say my prediction for next week's episode of who I think wins, and yeah, Samoa Joe wants to live. I would never say it to his face, and I hope to God he's not listening. He's lost a little bit of a step, but not much. Like, not much at all. And I've seen some complaints about he gets exhausted like right away. Look at him sweating. Look. Have you ever watched a football, basketball, hell, even baseball game before the game even starts? Just when they're doing warm-ups, they're sweating their ass off. They stay hydrated. Stay hydrated like that, it shows through your pores and you sweat. That's the point of staying hydrated.
That is correct. As Rocket would say, that is true.
It doesn't mean they're gassed or anything. Now, if you see somebody sucking wind, like, that's one thing. But look at any pregame, just throwing a football around. They don't even have their pads or anything, uniform. They're just, loosening up. They sweat like a son of a bitch because they stay hydrated because they have to because it's a 60-minute football game and they need the endurance. They can't be dehydrated, 2 minutes into the first quarter. Anyway.
I hear voices in my head.
They counsel me, they understand. I love this Randy Orton. I love this Randy Orton so much.
This is the Randy Orton everybody wanted. This is the best Randy Orton.
Yes, this is. And I made no bones about, like, I don't give a damn if he's boring. Face Randy Orton. If he's way back, like Legend Killer Randy Orton. I like Randy Orton. Get over it. But this Randy Orton, I really like this Randy Orton. He gives zero fucks about it. And to some degree, it's a fresh start because it's a line between the Legend Killer and the Viper, and like this, he took it up just a notch. Like he just wants violence. Like when Legend Killer and the kick punt and stuff. And that was just okay. He put the old dog out of his misery, but now it's more like an out for blood kind of Randy Orton.
Yes, the best kind of Randy.
Yes, and he plays it so well.
And even his promos, he believes it in his promos.
I think it's been over a year where he's been saying, in interviews, like, I'm a natural hill. I'm a hill. I want to be a hill. I'm a hill. I'm a hill.
He is a natural.
He's so smug. Like you just, he comes across as like, I don't like this dude. Just, if you knew nothing about Randy Orton wrestling anything, just watch 5 seconds of him and his pose, whatever. He's so smug. Like, I wish somebody would punch that motherfucker in the face. Not me, because he's a lot bigger than me, but somebody.
He's huge.
It's like you go to like a normal bar, and there's this one loudmouth kind of biker kind of guy. Like, like nobody around him, no women, no friends, but he wants to mouth off, and I wish somebody would shut him the fuck up. I'm not going to do it because I'm not getting my ass beat, but I wish somebody would. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just want somebody to shut him up.
Yeah.
But you don't want to be the one that tries. Like, nope. I'm just going to sit here and drink my beer and enjoy my time. But if he goes on a little too long, I'll go to the next bar over. That's prototypical heel heat. He doesn't have to do derogatory things, cross lines, things that have been going on for a while, but just in the last week or so. Like, you don't need that for good heel heat. Just be a heel. Just make people want to see you get knocked the fuck out. That's all you need. Do it the right way. Not calling people slurs or that kind of bullshit. Just be so agitating that, man, I really, again, in the bar scenario, I'm not going to do it because, like, you'll knock my ass out. But, man, I really wish somebody would come along and just shut him the fuck up, like, real quick. Like, that's heel heat. That's not, I have to be so outlandish that, or say discriminatory things to get heel heat. You either have it or you don't.
In the main event, See who gets to challenge the Bludgeon Brothers at SummerSlam. The Bar versus the New Day.
I didn't catch all this. I didn't catch any. I caught very little of SmackDown. I did go watch this. Beyond the NXT, Tyler Bate, when, and I'm getting my names confused. The rematch of BSS winning damn. So I'm just going to play. This was my second best, and I watch a lot of wrestling. This is my second to match of the year, tag team match of the year. When Undisputed Era, when they won their belts back.
Still on SmackDown.
I know. I know. I'm saying we're talking about the main event of SmackDown.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That main event was, in my opinion, on par. I have to get a slight edge to Undisputed Eras versus the British Strong Style NXT from a few months ago tag team match. It was a great match. It was great. They're both. This is main roster. This is the best tag match of the year. Not even close. Not even close. The New Day and the Bar. Wow. That match was fantastic.
Did you think the right team won?
Kind of, but every time I think like, okay, the Bar's run its course, or not that the New Day's run its course, but like to switch it up a little bit. But the only thing I can say about the right team won is now you do have a legitimate face versus heel at SummerSlam. New Day versus Bludgeon Brothers. I'll put it this way: the match was so great, there were no wrong losers. That's how good this match was.
You would have been happy with either team.
Yeah, I mean that's tag team wrestling. That it was so well put together, so well performed. That was great. And here's the funny thing. When you look at, okay, you did this, I'll pull a jackass here, and 6 stars. But now you have the Bludgeon Brothers, and I like the Bludgeon Brothers. But we just saw this match happen last night. How do they? It's going to take a lot of work for the tag match at SummerSlam to live up to what happened last night.
Yeah, it is, but I think they can pull it off.
Yeah. Yeah, I've said before, I'm on record, like, I love Eric Rowan. I love Luke Harper. the gimmick is a little too gimmicky. They can pull it off. I don't know how. This is the one time where maybe next week at the 13th. I just don't. What were the Usos this weekend on SmackDown?
Um,
And they weren't on the. Just some weird things. But and I like Cesaro. I kind of like Sheamus. I've become more of a Sheamus fan in his tenure in the bar or with the bar. Like I used to despise him, but I appreciated his strength. And then it just went to just, you look stupid. You look stupid. And then you find out all the, like, oh shit, you got spinal stenosis and stuff like that. Okay, so you know that he's on his, and I don't mean this as a pun at all. Don't take it as such. He's on his last legs of his career, and I truly appreciate that he's still doing what he does when he could have walked away when he found out. But he's writing it out as long as he can.
well, he's doing what he loves.
He's doing what he loves, but he's also entertaining us. This is a whole different topic of, because some people don't know when to say no. But I think between him and the doctors he's seeing, I'm sure on a regular basis, he's like, okay, it's not getting worse, or it's doing this, or like I'm sure it's kept up with more than, oh, well, shit, you know, you know, just the fact that once he got diagnosed with it, and he's still like, okay, as long as I'm not in like immediate danger with this, and I'm headstrong, move forward. That's I don't want to say heroic, but and I'm nodding my head like people would see me, and that's pretty cool. Like okay, play it safe. He's not in every match of every night. People know the risk and that kind of stuff, but he's still willing to. He loves the business so much. The business loves him. He wants to, for whatever reason. I mean, he could always go back to being rock steady, but sorry, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference. Yeah, that match was fantastic.
It was a great match.
They gave him a quarter of the show. The show's 2 hours long. They gave him 30 minutes for a tag team match. That's and the main event. Like for all the gripes that.
That's like the first stanza. Okay.
What was that?
Oh, nothing. I hit something by accident.
Are you watching your shows?
Nope.
No, you're watching. What shows are you watching?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. I don't believe you.
I just accidentally hit the unmute button. I got my
Ah.
TV on mute.
That's what are you watching on? Is it Longmire?
No, it's on Justice Network.
I have no idea what plays on that. But yeah, and I think we talked more about Raw than SmackDown, but what little bit we did talk about SmackDown, you can see the difference of Rematch City versus, hey, these are fresh, getting into SummerSlam.
Yeah, one of the chinchillas is on its wheel.
Oh, which one?
Probably Declan.
Declan. Can you not see him, or can you not tell them apart? And that's an honest question.
You can tell them apart.
Okay, you just can't see him.
I just can't.
For those that don't know, AA has two chinchillas, Ronan and Declan. And anytime they get brought up, I have just obligatory, uh, achoo. They have to get dust bath. However, it doesn't, like, dust make me dirty? Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, we're talking about the Carmelo. Yeah, we're talking about Carmelo, Charlotte being evicted into. What are your thoughts on,
my thoughts on?
like, just looking at who the title holder was and the number one contender, Charlotte, or excuse me, hey, Gordon and slip, whatever. Um, if it was just Carmelo versus Becky, 1-on-1, is it, what would your thoughts be on if that actually transpired at SummerSlam?
I'd want to see Becky take the belt back.
And I know and I'm still holding out hope that somehow Becky still does. And they touched on this episode of SmackDown. I wasn't trying to steal your spotlight. I wasn't trying to steal your time. Well, maybe then you should have waited. But even with it being a triple threat, just looking forward down the road, it, it almost has to be. I don't want to say has to be because then I'll drink shit. Becky has. I don't want to say has to. Becky makes the most sense coming out of SummerSlam as champion. Carmella had her reign. Charlotte doesn't need it for anything. Becky could definitely use the re-establishment of having it. She is, after all, the first women's SmackDown champion.
Yeah. She needs the belt back. She just needs it back. See what she can do with it.
And I've kind of here lately, and I've never said this out loud. Just if you're still gonna, you're not getting sleepy on me, are you?
Nope. Just hurting.
Oh, I won't keep you if you. I just I thought I've been having for.
I want to hear it.
Well, okay. You sure? Because
Yes.
it might take a lot of my, how I know the word good. The four horsewomen of WWE: Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bayley, and the Shield: Roman, Seth, Dean. And I haven't seen this anywhere, read this anywhere, got an idea from anywhere. To some degree, they're kind of all interchangeable. But at the same degree, they're not. And this is what, I don't know the word good. When the story is done right, and I know now, obviously, like you have two on SmackDown, two on Raw. That's not the point of what I'm trying to make. They when one comes up, we all come up. If that makes any sense. That and that the I might quit talking just because I don't know we're good. Um, Especially right now where Bailey and Sasha are on Raw doing their thing, and apparently tag team division. Becky and Charlotte aren't. So they're going after the top prize. Yeah, I might want to stop.
Why?
Well, because it's kind of hard to get your thoughts together at the same time talking without having dead air, dead air, dead air.
Dead air, dead air, dead air,
Exactly.
dead
Yeah.
air, dead air, dead air, dead air.
There comes a point in time, and let's keep this strictly to okay, the four horsewomen of WWE have never actually been a faction in WWE. It's not like the Shield and they broke up. They've never been, we are the four horsewomen and we'll fight you bitches. Like that's never happened.
Right.
So they came up individually. Yeah, Charlotte and Becky, I guess you can say a team coming up with PCB. Hey, Charlotte and Becky. You had Sasha coming up, and then Bailey was a year or so later coming up. See, now I do want to stop because I'm losing my train of thought.
Next time, what you need to do is write it down.
Yeah. There's so many not obvious stories, like the underlying stuff, and not just like, oh, so and so did so such and such, like NXT, like, you know, Becky turning her back, and, or Bailey doing the same, or Sasha doing the same. Or, I was going somewhere, I promise. But on the SmackDown side, there's so many different intertwined. Well, on the yeah, I'll just stop. I just every time I go to say something like, then I think about this and that. I write it down, you know. Again, folks, now we're going on like 4 days. I haven't had sleep, so the
You
fact
need
I'm
sleep.
even functional is amazing in itself. I'm going to mute myself for 1 second.
He needs sleep, folks. He really does. You need sleep. Next Wednesday, when you turn into the podcast, it'll all be funny. Because I'm going to have a tooth extracted that morning. So we'll see how well I'm talking. And how I'm doing on pain meds. Should be pretty funny.
So we go from me just absolutely dead tired, delirious to, hey, tune in next week to Painkiller AA. It's a roller coaster, folks. Like, just stay tuned. You never know what crazy shit we might say. And I completely, my train of thought of where I was going with I was specifically referring to, since they're on the same brand, Becky and Charlotte. And it's not like a Charlotte's a Flair. She's, immediately a heel. Yeah. There's stories that are so easy to be told that just aren't told, I guess. I'll elaborate later, but what's going on with old Rocky Mountain Pro?
Well, they're having their Milestone 8th, which is their 8th anniversary show this coming Saturday, which I will be attending, which will have Al Snow taking on his good friend and rival Stevie Richards as one of the matches.
What does everybody want?
Head.
What does everybody need?
Head. So next week, I'll have a whole lot to say about Milestone 8.
That depends on how the painkillers work Wednesday.
Yeah, I said next week's episode should be pretty good. And hopefully you'd have some sleep by then.
I was about to say, what are you trying to say? Like, this week's wasn't very good?
This was pretty good, but you need some sleep.
Nah.
And hopefully you don't have another friend visit.
Hey, see?
I didn't say the word. I didn't say the word.
But just a hint of it. You just turned like complete back in the day John Moxley Hill.
Thank you. What a compliment.
I will shut this podcast down now. We're off the air. Yeah, um, it's not even in my control, just so you guys know. Like, hey, it's doing this. I'm just trying to. I have no idea what I'm saying anymore.
You're tired.
I'm exhausted. But the parts I watched of SmackDown, again, the tag match is just phenomenal. Like if you haven't seen it, seek it out. It's on YouTube. If you have Hulu or you have it on DVR or whatever, phenomenal. Randy Orton's being
He's
badass.
back.
Randy Orton, yeah, like that's badass. Randy Orton. Raw, the majority of it was good. So okay, there were some lulls, just like typical Raw, I guess. But for the most part, it was, from what I heard and saw, like it wasn't, except for Mojo versus Gloria. And that was the only thing, just hearing like, oh god, not this. And I like Mojo. They just need to put him against a different dance partner. If he's going to be heel, don't put him against Face, Bobby Roode, something. Real quick, like, since it's not even, it's Thursday on the East Coast. NXT, it was a match that led to Tommaso Ciampa versus your hero, Johnny Gargano, versus my hero, Aleister Black. Tommy fucking End. Sorry, I have to do it every time. It's obligatory. AA knows I cannot say Aleister Black without saying Tommy fucking End. Well, it looks like Aleister Black is hurt and will not be able to compete at the takeover before SummerSlam. So as of this airing, it looks like we're going to get a one-on-one Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship.
Sounds interesting.
Would have been a lot more interesting with, if I say his name, you know, I have to finish it up with how I always do, so I won't say his name. Would have been more interesting with the third party involved.
You mean more interesting with Aleister Black?
Tommy fucking End. Yes. I have to do it. But yes, and it's still, you know, like, has an NXT, like, takeover ever really failed? No. So you know they'll work around it. I mean, Unstoppable May 20th, 2015 was supposed to be Kevin Owens or Hideo Itami versus Damon Finn versus Tyler Breeze. And before that, Hideo Itami hurt his shoulder, and the triple threat for number one contender went to a one-on-one Damon Finn versus Tyler Breeze, which was a great match. Like, they always seem to work around it. It opened the show, and by the way, this was the first time my son had seen Demon Finn. He had seen Joker Finn from New Japan. My son at this time was 2015. He would have been 5. May 20th, he would have just turned 5 2 months before. had seen Joker fan. He had even seen Hannibal Lecter. And I say fan, but Prince Devitt. But this was his first demon. And he got the, that's why he's still a fan. He does the arms anytime that song comes on. And I'm doing it. Nobody can see me. I don't give a shit. But they'll figure a way around it. I just hope they don't just, hey, we signed Keith Lee or Matt Riddle, and we're going to put him in the match. Like, just go ahead and do it one-on-one. Make a storyline out of it. Like, before the show. Oh, somebody beat the shit out of Aleister Black. Come in fucking head. And roll with it. They're good at that. But then that feud does have to, like, this should be it, at least for a long while. As much as I enjoy the feud, and I mean, how can you get tired of Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa? This does really need to be the end for a while. Busy weekend ahead with Rocky Mountain.
Very busy weekend ahead for me.
I saw something you put on Twitter. Are there 2 shows this weekend for them, or did I misread something? Is there the one show?
There's the anniversary show on Saturday, but there's also the Lucha Libre Laugh on Friday night.
Okay.
But I'm just going to go to the Milestone.
Okay. I think the 2 tweets that I'm talking about, I think when I was finally able to, like, not check so much and get on Twitter, and I think one was you saying something about Rocky Mountain Pro this weekend, and then I think you quote retweeted about the Left Coast Gorillas.
Yeah, Lucha Libre.
Yeah, okay. And I still, every time I see them, like, dude, I just 30 minutes in bar, just hang out next to the bar stool next to them and just chill. They look crazy as fuck.
Just don't mention drink for drink.
When I say crazy, I mean fun. Like, they just...
Oh, they are. They're a riot.
They're definitely the kind that, like, you want to be friends with them and not get on their bad side. Like, they...
I just hope they win their match Saturday, because if they lose, they have to disband.
Oh, no. Yeah, they have to win.
Trigger warning to disband.
LCG. Yeah. Anybody listening to this, or 90% of people listening to this, have no idea what the hell we're talking about. LCG is Left Coast Gorillas from
Rocky Mountain Pro.
Rocky Mountain Pro. Sorry, a bunny rabbit. Just out of all creatures that could. And again, if you guys have never heard the pod, I'm outside, so, and something scared the shit out of me, out of my eye, corner of my eye, and it was a bunny rabbit. So, hey, Rocky Mountain Pro. And I've been watching as much as I can. They have Twitch. They They stream stuff on YouTube. They put stuff on Twitter. It's a really fun show. And AA has all the knowledge of if you have questions, just who's so and so or who's one of the I'm like people will see me scratching my head. Who's one of the writers for this show? I can't remember.
Vince Russo, bro.
Bro. Russo. No way, bro. And he's actually, we brought this up before. Yeah, he gets a bad rap, but he's not what you think. Vince Russo is pretty cool.
Vince Russo's a pretty cool dude, bro.
All right, dude, bro. Can I throw a brother Jack dude in there or something? I don't know what to do. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do with my hands. If you don't get that Talladega Nights joke, then
I did not care for that movie.
how dare you? But you like racing. How do you
I do
not
like NASCAR
Yeah, how do you not like Talladega Nights? Okay,
because I don't like Will Ferrell.
no, we can no longer be friends. Nope. So, guys, you guys are hearing the last podcast AA and I will ever have together because that is sacrilege and I will not stand for it. But seriously, why don't you like Will Ferrell?
He's just not funny to me.
Is he too over the top or? And we're for real, like, okay, for warning, like if you skipped ahead and you're hearing this now and you want to hear anything about wrestling, like go 5 minutes before this because there's no more wrestling to be talked about because now we're having. How's he not funny? Why is he not funny to you?
I don't know. I just don't connect with him.
Yeah, a lot of his movies.
Acquired taste.
Some of his movies, to a degree, a lot of his movies suck. But I loved him in SNL. I might have to rethink my. I've never heard anybody actually say like, "I don't like him."
I like Bill Engvall.
Like who?
Bill Engvall.
Here's your sign.
You might be a redneck if.
Well, that's Jeff Foxworthy. Do you like tater salad?
Yes.
And they were, I know it's just like the cheesiest, just lowbrow comedy ever. But I love them on their tour. That's one of those things that don't think about it, just laugh. Because they were funniest. They call me tater salad.
They call me Tater Salad. And they call his son Tater Tots.
Yes. I was drunk on a bench.
I was drunk in a bar in New York City.
And in case and I know it's not factual, but I don't try to disguise it. I just, in my head, think I don't have it as much as I do, but apparently I do. I'm from Texas, y'all. That's the only time ever in the history of me podcasting you will ever hear me say y'all. Well, now that's the second time, but
Y'all.
I say you guys. Like I don't say y'all. Now that's the third time. So anyway, with that Y word, like
Ewans.
now that's a new where where is that from?
Ewans. That's you plus 3. Ewans. It's a
That's a
Jeff
new.
Foxworthy joke.
Oh, oh, okay. Now I'm with you. But that whole they were great. They were kind of always together. They were great as solo acts. But then that tour they did mid 2000s or later 2000s. Larry the Cable Guy. I mean, he he's one of those and he's actually smart, except for you know he likes Nebraska. Boo, Cornhuskers. Like they're it was just like a perfect storm of them coming to do that together. Anyway, but I'll promise you this: you go through my social, I've I've not spelled out Y apostrophe ALL. Nope. I say you guys.
Ewans.
Eh, I might start using that one just for the irony. Who's your favorite comedian?
Bill Engvall.
Can't go wrong with that. Have you seen him live?
Yes, I have.
Well,
And it was worth it.
I didn't know who he was at the time. He opened for shoot, I can't even remember who the headliner was. Jeff opened for his mid card somewhere in an act, and I saw very early '90s, if not late '80s. And you might be a redneck here, and boy, that got the crowd going. And then he did the redneck dictionary. I forget what me and my mom and my little brother. I forget what show, but he wasn't the headliner. But I forget who the headliner was, and I think we left before the show actually ended. It's the same place that I grew up watching early '80s wrestling, Gillies. And now, like I forewarned you about 10 minutes ago, we're not talking about wrestling anymore. So they can find us every Wednesday, apparently, no matter what. No matter what. We're Wednesdays, 10 Eastern ish, 8 Mountain Time ish. That's talking to you, Wing. 7 Pacific
Yes.
time. And Ruthless Aggression podcast is every Friday at um, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific. And that's with one of our regulars, like he might as well be the third host of Violent Wrestling Podcast. Little Matt talks about everything with his aggression era. That's from pay-per-views to the shit he puts me through with listening to albums and all the joy that came with that era. Little Matt's our beloved friend. We're shooting the breeze
On Saturday mornings.
at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 8 Pacific. That's with Taker's Minion.
Mr. Dr. Sinju.
MDS. And Thursdays, I don't know if it will be this Thursday, depends on how tonight goes with if any more friends show up. Thursdays, Whacked Out Wrestling with myself and Thomas Green. I call him Greeny. And that's usually Thursdays at 11 Eastern, 10 my time, 10, everybody knows what my time is. 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 8 Pacific. We might do it. Last week we did it Saturday, so just you'll get a link or search for Whack That Wrestling.
And don't forget Two Guys, One Sport and Fizzy's Wacky World. And you can search them out. And Mox, where can they get a hold of you?
Well, you can reach me at Fireman, FIREMAN 6809 at twitter.com. And it's fantasy football season, and I run a whole lot of fantasy football leagues, and I will be posting. And next week, before we get too far into, or maybe afterwards, I will, if anybody's listening that wants to be or plays fantasy football and wants to join, I'll give links to that. And that's about it for me. Where can they get a hold of you?
Then get a hold of me on Twitter at Lady Roshana, LadyRoschana. Get me on Cage Side Seats as Ambrose Alley. And please check out Rocky Mountain Pro on both Twitch and YouTube. It is really worth checking out. Subscribe to them on Twitch, and you get all their back content. And they cover more than just wrestling. You also get to see behind the scenes at Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy and get to see the wrestlers actually training.
Yeah, even if you don't follow or you have Twitch, like just following Rocky Mountain Pro on Twitter, like there's so much more into it than just following. Like they have some good stuff. Excuse me. There's some good content that they share. It's a fun follow.
And on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific, they run an episode of their flagship show, Charged, on Twitch.
And Twitch is free. It just takes an email, password, and a quick search or follow where AA just led you to, and you're right there. She walked me through it a couple of months ago, and then bam. And not only can you see live things from their previously charged episodes, but there's also content. And hey, don't the wrestlers do like live Twitches throughout different days, and they go back and forth of who's handling it? Because that's pretty neat.
Yeah, they do. And it just varies. As I said, it's not all wrestling. You'll catch them playing video games, or they'll do Q&A sessions. It's really unique and fun content. They really interact with their fans.
It's very neat, and if so and so, let's say if Killer is running the Twitch feed at that time, they interact with you. Like, it's not just like you're out on an island or something. They will respond. They do respond. If Killer Cole has the Twitch feed for that time, he'll respond to you. He'll talk to you. He'll ask him whatever you want to ask him. He'll talk to you. Right?
Yes, he will. So will all of them.
Yeah, I'll just pick Cole out just for obvious reasons,
but yeah, he's my fave.
That's what, hence my obvious reasons. But they want you to. They want you to engage. They want you to come up to them. They want you to. They appreciate you being fans of them. Am I right or am I wrong?
You are correct.
They appreciate you, and whether it's, if they're playing a game, when did you start playing, or if it's something else, like how did you get into wrestling? I've had no problems with any of them, answering that kind of. Now, don't be like out of bounds with it, and that shouldn't have a disclaimer like out of bounds or out of bounds. But how'd you get into wrestling? When did you begin? They love that stuff.
And Vince is another one. You can get on Vince Russo's Twitch, and he'll answer your questions.
I don't know how else to. It's not like sending an at a celebrity or a wrestler or something at Twitter, and just to at them, or hoping they respond, or hoping they legit, like they pay attention and
they answer.
Yeah,
they're people. You can carry on a conversation with them. And Matt Yaden still owes me a song.
And that's when is that supposed to? When is that's supposed to be paid?
Tomorrow night.
Nice, and that will be on Twitch.
Be on Twitch, and it's going to be Nickelback's "Burn It to the Ground." If you're listening, Matt, do your research.
That's gonna be fun.
So I guess that's it for the night.
Yeah, I haven't fallen over asleep yet, so and I think we covered the basis for tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take some NyQuil and see if I can get my tooth will let me sleep tonight.
It's the I can't even do the jingle. At nighttime, no drowsy, no or whatever. Fuck it, I give up. Go to sleep. It's the nighttime. I'll see you in 2 days. Medicine. I can't do NyQuil. I know.
Cassie's asleep.
Oh, nice. Is she asleep on your foot?
No.
Okay. Well, at least, hey, look at the positives, because usually she's asleep on your foot or leg.
That's true.
All right, guys. Thanks for putting up with me and my lack of sleep and my random fucking here and there and everywhere in between. Love you all. Peace.